Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is John Brewer, and I'm the PD for this event. My job typically is to these events is to interrupt a good conversation. But you all went so quiet as soon as I stood up here. I think it's that makes a nice change. So anyway, I'd like to welcome you all to this our 12th annual Human Capital Analytics Conference. I'd like to begin by recognising the contribution of our supporting sponsors, Oracle and SAP SuccessFactors, and our associate sponsors, Vizier and the Human Capital Management Institute. As well as supporting this event through sponsorship, they've each provided either a speaker or a client to share some critical and important information with you over the next 2 days. So we really appreciate their support of this event. And I'd also like to thank the leaders of the Human Capital Analytics Councils. As you know, I hope you know, one of the main activities of the conference board is we run a number of councils of executives with sort of common interests and functions, and we run a number of Human Capital Analytics councils, and a number of their members will be speaking today and tomorrow, which is great. But also, it's where we sort of start developing the event is in discussions with the leaders of those councils. So we'd really really want to recognise their input. So we're going to begin with just some housekeeping notes. I'm going to do a brief introduction, and then we're going to play a little game. I'm going to ask you to sort of bear with me. So on the housekeeping side, firstly I should introduce myself, and this is a very short bio here. I believe we need more face-to-face in a face-after-face world. And what I've done is, for this event, is I've asked all the speakers to provide 140 character or less mini bios. The point being they're all so terribly well qualified, I can't possibly do them justice. I'm very bad at introductions and they take up a lot of time. So my one is just believe we need more face-to-face in a face-after-face world. And I have a little image that illustrates that. That's a graffiti by a British graffiti artist, Banksy. And there's also a current photo, well, not quite so current, but a photo of you know you've arrived when everyone turns their back when you get to. So feel free now if you want to take a selfie with me in it. Now's the time to do it. You will have got an agenda when you arrived. It should be. It is the same as the latest one on the website, but it might be a little different from what you've signed up. When you signed up, there have been some changes, so just use that. There is. You also will have been given an evaluation form, which we'd like you to complete. As you can tell, I'm not from round these parts. I'm from Canada, and this is one we use in Canada. We're a bit behind you folks here. We still ask for speakers' knowledge of scripture and the like. But anyway, so please fill out that form. The feedback does really help us. The particular question, my favourite question on the form is, will you be interested in speaking at future events? If you tick that box, we'll be in touch, and that's always great because it saves me a lot of time. And it's actually really nice when people who've been attended these events decide to speak. We do encourage you to ask questions. There's plenty of time for questions. We do have, there's a little cartoon to illustrate why it's important to ask questions at events. Not suggesting that you folk look anything like those people in that middle frame there. Anyway, but please wait until there's a mic and then everyone can hear your question. I'm sure you're all familiar with this. We do have Wi-Fi available. Does anyone know what's missing from this hierarchy here? Anyone? What's even more important than Wi-Fi? It's caffeine. Food is close. Caffeine. So I'm already experiencing several of these symptoms. If you do, then do see one of our staff. Keep going. Okay. We do encourage you to tweet. There's a Twitter hashtag. So please use that if you're a tweeter. How many Twitterers are there here? A few. So please do that. And of course, having told you to tweet, and we're going to, if you could put your phones on mute at least, don't turn them off because we're going to need them shortly for some surveying we're doing. Obviously, if your phone goes off, it's very distracting for the speaker. You fumble around to pick your phone out of your bag or your pocket, and then you turn to the person next to you, and this is what you see. So we want to avoid that. And I think so. That's it for housekeeping. So just a few brief comments about the event. And I don't think I need to tell you people here how dramatically human capital analytics has grown over the last few years. This event has evolved along with that development. Every year we've got new ideas, looking very forward-looking, I think, things. It started off as a measurement piece, 12. Like I said, this is the 12th year. featuring pioneers who struggled with spreadsheets and shoestring budgets, and now we've got most of us have access to very sophisticated tools. I'm not sure that's made the job any easier, but it's certainly made it, I think, more. We're operating in a much more complex environment. And I certainly think that certainly looking at the events I do in the HR space, it is the analytics piece that in many ways is driving innovation in HR and certainly bringing HR much closer to the business. And that's always been the focus of this event, has been linking that to the business, which I think accounts for a lot of its success. And I do actually think, in working on this, and again, I appreciate your thoughts, that the profession does seem to be on the cusp of a new, I wouldn't call it a renaissance, but certainly a transformation as increasing use of new technologies, specifically machine learning, AI, those kind of things, which we've got some discussion on. And it seems to me to be, we're entering, I think, an era of great opportunity and change. So I thought it'd be appropriate to start the event with a little game around your thoughts around the future. So what I'd like you to do is just to take a piece of paper and write the word future on it. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you to do it. We're going to do a little word association game. It'll take about 5 minutes, and then we'll get on with the conference proper. So if you're sitting at the back, we're going to have to be sharing some stuff. You should be able to sort of manage that, I would think. So just write the word future on a piece of paper. And what I'm going to ask you to do, please don't start doing anything until I say start, because it's a timed exercise. I'm going to ask you to list 10 words that you associate with the word future. Okay? So very simple, just 10 words. Don't think about it too much. Associate, don't give it too much thought. Does anyone know what this is? This is not a word. It's a sentence. So what we're looking for is individual words. So nothing. So when you think about the future, if this is what you think of, we don't want that. We just want individual words. Everyone clear? So 10 words when you think about the future, starting now. So you have 1 minute for that. So, does everyone have their 10 words? Yes? Anyone need more time? Okay, so what I want you to do is to compare those words at your table, and I want you to make a list for each table of the words that's on everybody's list. Okay? So, they have to be the same words, so if for the future one of you has got the word retirement, for instance, another one has pension, those are two different words. They might be related but different words. So, I want every table to produce a list that has the words that are the same on. Is everyone clear on that? Yeah? Okay, so you've got like 2 minutes to do that. No, it's two. That's 2 words. That's 2 words. Gig economy is 2 words. Okay. As I said initially, my job is to interrupt good conversation. So I'm going to introduce. We're going to just. I take it you've all pretty much finished that. You've probably all got lots of words in common. So we're going to find out how many. And I'd like to introduce you to Slido. So if you get out your smartphone, I'm going to ask some multiple choice questions here. If you get out your smartphone and go to slido.com, okay, slido.com. No checking your email at this point, please. I know it's hard, but there you go. You have to there is a flyer on your table on this, and insert. Oh, it's up there too. Insert the hashtags #TCB HCA. Okay. And when. So that should only take a moment. Everyone got that? Anyone need a bit more time to enter Slido? Need a bit more time, okay. Can we get the question up anyway so people can start answering? So there's a question I want to ask you about how many words you had in common at your table.
0.
Okay, 0, 1 to 4, 5 to 8, or 9 to 10. So, if at your table you had no words in common, you press 1, 1 to 4 you press 2, 5 to 8, 3, 9 or 10 press 4. Okay? And I know with you folk all being human capital analytics experts, all working in that field, all thinking about the future, I know we're going to get a lot of words in common. I know it, I feel it in the room. Can we get? Do we have enough data for the answers on that? Okay, so 56%, 54% of you had 0. 1 to 4, 5. This actually, to be honest, this is looking a little. Oh, it's looking a little high. That 5 to 8, and I do wonder if maybe is there a table which had like 8 words in common? Well, 5 to 8 words that would like to share them. Over there, just what words do you have in common? And you really had these in common, right? Is the mic on? No. If you just say them and I'll change. Progress. Global. Technology. Retirement. AI. And health and wellness. Health and wellness. You really had, everyone at that table had all those words.
Not everyone, no.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so I thought that seemed a little unlikely, especially given there's so many of you, right? So anyway, so the point of that exercise is obviously when we come to these issues, we think everyone's thinking the same thing, but in fact we're thinking different things. But one of the things I like to explore is, and we'll do this really briefly, is there seems to be 2 reactions to the future. Either Jessica on the left or Camilla on the right. Jessica clearly a little distressed at this point. Camilla happy as a sandboy, as we say in the UK. These are my children. I only use my children's slides in order to shame them. I never turn for anything else. Anyway, so I don't know what Camilla said to Jessica. I really don't. It's lost. It's a mystery to our family. I suspect it was something along the lines of, I'm a robot and I've come to take your job. Something like that. Anyway, so what I'd like to do is another Slido question to see how positive or negative you are about the future. Okay? So if all your words are negative, press 1. If you've got more negative words than positive words, press 2. Roughly equal positive and negative. More positive and negative words, 4, 5, all my words are positive. Well, just a sort of a, if it's neutral, then you're roughly equal positive or negative. Okay, if you've got like 10 neutral words. Okay? So can we get the results of that? Okay, so you're a very positive group. There's no one here has 10 negative words. That's good to hear. And there's 3% have more negative words than positive words, roughly equal positive and negative thing. So what I want to do now is, I'm glad to hear you're largely positive about the future. We're just really going to quickly find the most positive person in the room. We're going to have a competition. I'm going to ask for 2 volunteers to volunteer their most positive word on their list. Who's got I did this in Toronto a few years ago, and someone had the word hallelujah. Hallelujah is an automatic win. No? No one got hallelujah. Does anyone want to volunteer a really positive word?
Right here. Enlightenment.
Enlightenment. Enlightenment. Wow, that's set the bar high. Hi there. And you're
Michelle Grano.
Michelle.
Yes.
Michelle is going to be enlightened in her future. And we have a challenger. Love. Oh, and there's love. I hope there's love in your present as well. Good. Okay. Good. And your name is Tamia. So Tamia's got love in her future. Michelle, enlightenment. Who thinks enlightenment is more positive than love? No Buddhists in the room. Okay. Who thinks love is more positive than? Wow. I'm sorry, Michelle. Well, I have a prize for you, because quite frankly, I don't know who. I'm not on the positive spectrum. I think she's a little too positive. If I was at her table, I'd move somewhere else. So I have a book here. It's called Collapse by Jared Diamond, and it's about how civilizations fail, and it largely through. It's a great book. Yes, it is a great book. There you go. Well, but you didn't win it, so there you go. Thank you very much. Okay, so. In fairness, we should find the most negative person in the room. Does anyone have a really negative word? And we actually, again, in Toronto, I did this, and someone had the word apocalypse. So again, apocalypse is absolutely an automatic win. Who's got a really negative word? You?
I'm death.
Death. And your name is?
Young Choi.
Young Choi. Young Choi has death in his future. So we all have death. You know what? Bad news, everyone. We all have death in our future. So Young Choi, death, and you're volunteering?
I'm Matthew, and with this crowd, this might work. I have auditors.
Auditors, oh. So, we can only do 2, I'm afraid. We can only do 2, because I have trouble keeping more than one thought in my mind at a time, but I apologise. So, forgive me. Young has death. Matthew, the auditors. Who thinks death is more negative than auditors? Which do you fear most, death or auditors? Okay, so to cheer you up, I have The Consolations of Philosophy by Alain de Botton, which is all about how philosophy can help lift your mood. There's consolation for frustration, consolation for not having enough money, consolation for unpopularity. Now, I'm not judging him, but here you go. That should cheer you up, no end. Okay, so really quickly, because I know I've already taken up too much time, we're going to try and create a word cloud. So what I want you to do is, because it's one other thing that we're going to do, I want you to look again at your list and find the most positive word on your list. And I'd like you to enter that into Slido. Okay? So back to the phones, back to Slido. Everyone to enter the most. So if you've got, just pick that one word that you think really is, as we had, enlightenment and love. What's that one word that would really lift your spirits and make you thinking good about the future? Because my positive thought about the future is 2 words. It's cocktail reception. Because then the day's over and my work is done. So can we get a word cloud for that? There we go. I haven't done this before, so exciting. Jetsons. That's good. Revenue, adventure, progress, opportunity, borderless. Okay, so this is great. We've got some great words here. You're a bunch of positive people. That love is in there. There's all sorts of stuff. That's just so we've got that as your image of how positive you folk are. One of the things I like to do at these events, and it's a little bit. Michelle will like it because she's got enlightenment in her future. It's a little bit hippie, but I do it anyway. And if you don't like it, we won't do it. Simple as that, right? Is at the end of each session, I like us to take a mindful pause where we just think, reflect for 30 seconds at most about the thing that we learned most, the one takeaway we're going to get away from that session. And we put that in between the speaker finishing and the Q&A, just to kind of give you a moment to reflect and give the introverts an opportunity to build up the courage to ask a question. That wasn't said. So what I'd like you to do now is, again, that positive word that you entered into Slido, we're going to practice being mindful. I just want you to reflect on that positive word just for 20 seconds, and then we'll move on, okay? So we're going to have a little pause. Everyone just quiet. Think about that positive word. Okay, thank you very much. You're all thinking really good, happy thoughts, which is good news for our first speaker. And we're going to move on to the real sort of meat of the event. Thank you for bearing with me. So the message essentially is that, when we come to these conferences, whether we'd pick the word future, whatever we'd picked, we'd get a range of input. People have different backgrounds, different opinions, different associations with things. And as I said, we do these mini bios, so it's my pleasure to open with our first speaker, Aaron from Pfizer. He's the Global Head of Talent Analytics, Talent and Organizational Performance Solutions. And his mini bio here is absorb, analyze and act. Understand the analytical maturity of your organization at all times and don't speed date. So please welcome Aaron. Thank you.